Hello all and welcome to the latest Craftmania Sunday Showcase. I'm Jamie and I'm going to be your host today. Today I have some really exciting products to be sharing with you. We're going to be looking at some dyes, some really very lovely dyes, and the best bit about them is they're reduced to half their original price. Now today we're bringing you some really nice designer dyes. So they started off a little bit higher than you might be used to, but they're certainly reduced to rock bottom prices. Now I'm going to give you a bit of a warning. Last week's showcase sold out incredibly quickly and we actually got moaned at quite a bit throughout the week for not being able to keep up with demand. As we always warn you, our showcases are why stocks last. So especially with this one, we physically cannot get these products again. So while we've got them, please get hold of them. We will do our best to keep our website up to date to the minute as they're selling. So do keep an eye on there. And of course we can send them to you or you can have them held in store. Now if you are new to our showcases, what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be showing you our products. I'm going to tell you a code that you can use to order them via the phone or over any of our social media networks. Or of course you can pop onto our website where they're all individually shown and you can order them on there as well. We do ship worldwide and we are trialling a brand new system whereby you only pay £10 P&P as a maximum to send it anywhere in the world. That of course is for international shipping. If you're shopping with us within the UK, if you spend over £35 your order will be P&P free. If you spend less than that it's just a flat rate of £2.75. So let's have a little look and show you some of the wonderful things we've got for you today. So as I said, we have got reduced dyes. So let's jump straight in. So we're going to be looking at our first one, which is a daisy dye. Now this looks like it's going to be some sort of border, but I assure you they all cut out individually. So you've got 4 different sizes and styles of leaves, and then one little daisy head and one little topper to go in the centre of that if you wish to use it. Now this dye is normally £8.99, but it's reduced to just £4.49. Now I use this one quite a lot. You're going to see this an awful lot in my cards that I'm going to show you shortly, mostly for the leaves. I really like the flower too, but the leaves just go in with any sort of flower that you want to be working with. So it's quite a nice one for you to have in your stash. So that one is your daisy dye, should be £8.99 but reduced to just £4.49. The next one we're looking at is a floral border, this one. It should be £13.99 but it's reduced to just £6.99. Now for this you're actually getting 2 different dyes. You can use them together or you can use them separately. Now this is actually an edgeable dye. Now we've spoke about this on many of our videos, but just in case you're new, what that means is along this side here there isn't a blade. So there's nothing here that's going to cut it off of your cardstock. So if you wish to do it on the spine of a card, this will actually stay attached and all of this really fancy part going along the side here will actually cut out. So I've done one of these so I can show you what I mean. So this is actually a card and I've actually laid the die on the spine so that bit is cut out from the back of the card and then can be brought forward to give you a really nice fancy design. If you would wish to cut this out instead as actually a freestanding item, you can use this blade with it, which has a blade going across the base here, and it will actually cut it out for you so you've got a freestanding item. You can, if you prefer, just use this one on its own, because once again it's only got a blade running down one side of it. So this inner side here has nothing to cut it off. So a bit like the example I just showed you, that will actually stay on your card. So if you want to scallop the edges of your card maybe, or do the base of a stepper card, things like that, this would be a really good one for you to use. So if you can imagine, you could use that at the bottom of your card and this appearing from the top of the card, and then you've got a really nice matching sort of scalloped edge to go alongside on both panels. So not too bad for only £6.99. So that's your floral border, should be £13.99, but it's only £6.99. Then next up we have one of our most popular dyes we have ever stocked, and we're really surprised that we can bring this one to you at a reduced price. We've stocked this one for many years and it's always been a firm favourite, and it's just beautiful. It's an open flower that you can of course use as an open flower, or like on my example here, we can actually layer this one under other flowers to look more like a medallion sort of leafy style pattern underneath a flower if you wish. This is actually a little sample that we have hanging in front of the die in store, just to give you an idea of what they actually look like, just kept quite simple, but you're going to get to see that used on more of my cards shortly to give you more of an idea. But this one should be £9.49, but it's only £4.75, and for that you're actually going to be receiving 3 dies. And once again, the leaves for this one are a bit bigger than in the first die I show you, so they're quite nice for using with your larger flowers. on things you might be finding that you're going to use an awful lot of, because they really are very pretty leaves when you actually cut them out. Moving on, we have our Twiddly Bits die. Again, this is a really popular die. I'm quite amazed that we can bring this one to you again at a reduced price. This one should be £9.99, but it's only £4.50. So this one you're saving over half price on, so even more of a saving. And in this set you're getting 2 dies, and they really are very nice twiddly dies, very, very pretty indeed, and of course can be put into all different floral displays and bits like that. Moving on, we have our Delicate Circle. Now on this one, this is our sample. I do want to show you this because again, this is one that sells incredibly well in store, mostly just from our parchment sample. So we've actually cut this out of parchment on here and then layered it up using the flower die in the middle and just added a few little gems just to give it a bit of a decoration. Again, I don't really know how we've got this one reduced for you today. It should be £14.99, but it is on offer this week at only £7.49. Now again, for that, you're actually receiving 2 dies. So you have the solid frame, and then you've got this loose flower die in the middle, which of course is really nice if you want to ink it or layer it. And you can really do quite a lot with that one too. And again, the leaves that come with the open flower could look really nice put into a display with that flower head if you wish, if you do get both. So that's your Delicate Circle, should be £14.99, only £7.49. Then we have the Ultimate Frame. Now the Ultimate Frame is one of my firm favourites. I absolutely love this frame. As a scrapbooker as well, I think it's brilliant for that too. You can also make 3D models out of it, so we'll be showing you a little bit of that shortly as well. And on top of actually having a really pretty frame, we also get all these bits in the middle. So you've got another sort of twiddly bit, and we've got 2 flower levels and a little centre for your flower as well. So die wise, you're getting 5 dies for your money in this set. It should be £20.99, but it's only £10.49. So again, over exactly half price, so you've got a really good set there for your £10.49. Moving on to our last die I'm going to show you today, we have your Elegant Nesty. Now your Elegant Nesty should be £13.99, but it's only £6.99. And I really like the shape set up with this one, and the fact you get quite a few dies in this one for your money. And of course with a Nesty, if you are new to Nesties, the good bit is we can use them together to create frames. We can use them to cut shapes out the front of our cards, or we can of course cut out layers and layer them up. Or you can even use them with your printed sheets to actually cut out fancy edges and bits like that. There's just so much you can do with Nesties. I'll also be showing you how you can use the larger size to actually make a card blank with shortly as well. So there really is a lot we can do with that one. And that one should be £13.99, but is reduced to only £6.99. Then this week we have a really impressive essentials pack for you. We've got a bit different this week. It's a bit more expensive, to be fair, but you are saving just as much as you always do. If you're new to our videos, you might not have heard of our essential packs before, so I'll just explain them quickly. What we're going to do shortly is we're going to show you over 10 projects that I've made today with all of the products I'm going to be sharing with you. And because we know you might like to recreate some of these ideas, we put together an essentials pack full of all of the bits I've been using. Now when we do this, we actually take over a third off of the price for them. We put it all together in one pack so you can save big and get lots and lots of goodies to play with. So this week your essential pack should actually be £30.52, but we've reduced it to just £20. Now it is actually our highest ever essential pack price point, but I think you're going to really love this and you're going to see why it's the price it is. For a start off, what we have included in this week's bundle, so in your essentials pack, is a complete 12 by 12 pad of paper, and this is a really posh pad of paper, no common paper here. These are 12 by 12, 48 sheets, and quite a few of them are actually foiled and decorated. So we're going to have a little flick through these just to give you an idea of what's going on in here. One of the bits I quite like with this as well is they're all single-sided, so you don't have to worry that you're covering up nice designs on the back of them. They've also stuck in quite a few sheets like this, so it's a really nice foiled paper of lots of elements you can cut out and use for your cards, your scrapbooking, your home decor, and again quite nice as well, they've actually give you 2 of them. Quite often if you are lucky enough to get something like this in a pad, you only get 1 of them, and then you can't layer them or use 2 of them on a project because you've only got the one and you don't want to buy another pad, do you? So this is quite a nice setup. I also quite like the way they've foiled just odd elements on a page as well. It gives a really luxury and expensive look to your pad. Some of these are just to die for, aren't they? They really are beautiful papers. And of course we could dress them up with some glitter or some glossy accents, or you could heat emboss some elements on them. We could use them for tea bag folding. I'm going to show you a card in a moment that I've turned into like a medallion, turning these into little squares and turning them into little cones. So lots of things like that as well. Another really pretty foil sheet in here as well. And again, you're getting 2 of them ones. I could just imagine this rose really nicely cut out and layered. I think that's beautiful. And then quite nice papers as we flick through again. I love this lace design, and I quite like the way they've given you other colours as well. So you've got different shades. So we've got the pinks and the turquoises, and again you've got this one again in a pink. This one's a really pretty one as well. I'm also going to be showing you shortly how you can turn these into envelopes too. So if you are somebody who looks at 12 by 12 papers and thinks, oh well, I only make small cards, the last thing I need is big sheets. Well, these big sheets can make perfect envelopes for your cards, and I'll be showing you how to do that shortly. Another really nice foil design on that one. And again, you're getting 2 of them ones. Some nice tiny roses on these ones too. You just get so much in here, don't you? Really is a beautiful pad. And then as we come up to the end sheets, we've got these really nice foiled sentiments on them ones too. And then some more little roses after that one. And then that completes your pad. So that is 48 sheets in total, several foiled, really, really lovely papers that you're going to be able to use from this Essentials pack. To go with that, we're also going to give you 2 sheets of gold mirror board. This is A4 mirror board, so it's going to go in really well with all them nice gold elements that you've got in your Essentials pack. We're also going to give you 2 do-it-yourself decoupage sheets. By that we mean that they're not die cut, so you will need to cut them out yourself. But again, you could even use your nesties maybe on the main images. So you're going to get 2 of them in there as well. You've also got a packet of ribbons. So all different pink ribbons and fibres. You actually get 10 metres of ribbon in here. So quite a lot. I know it looks like there's not as much, but 10 whole metres of different ribbons and fibres in that one. We're then going to give you 2 metres of a white lace with a gold fleck to it as well. So that's going to go in really well with them gold elements in your pad. We're also going to give you a sheet of stickers. Now these are white stickers that can be just peeled off. You can of course colour them if you want to using alcohol markers and bits like that. So you don't have to keep them white. We're also going to give you 10 sheets of our oyster cardstock. Now this goes in really well with a pad again, and it's a really good weight. It's good for cards, good for boxes, but it's not too deep or too thick, so you can still die cut it if you want to. You can also colour this one really well and stamp on it too, and you're going to get 10 sheets of that in here. We're also going to give you 5 sheets of our dark champagne pearl paper. Now this is pearl on both sides, so when we're looking at some of them flower dies and you want to make some really nice 3D flowers, this is a really good weight to be using, and it will give you some beautiful effects. Again, really good if you want to distress it or colour it. And then we're also going to give you a packet of these really pretty lilac gems. Now these aren't gems as such, they're actually like little domes filled full of glitter, so that you might not pick that up too well on camera, but we have given you these before in an essential pack. We gave you some gold ones once before, and they were such a hit we thought we'd bring you some purple ones or lilac ones. So that will complete your essentials pack. As I say, this set should be worth, or is worth, £30.52, but it's yours this week for just £20. Now, normally, to be quite fair, pads like this in today's world can easily sell for more than £20 on their own. So to think you're getting the dark champagne paper, the oyster paper, the mirror board, all the different gems and stickers as well, I really don't think you're going to go wrong with this set at all. As a warning, as always, our essential packs are quite well taken to, shall we say, so please don't hold out and get it while we've got it, because they quite often sell out very, very quickly, and I would hate you to miss out, especially on this pad, because I've actually got to play with this all day and it's just fab. You're going to love it. So let's show you a few bits I've made, and hopefully that will give you some ideas on why you need this set. So this is my first card I want to share with you. Now, we spoke about these papers and how I'd turned them into my little medallion here. So what I've done to create this is I've taken 1.5 inch squares for the outside ones, and 1 inch squares for the inside ones, and just folded them into a cone and then stuck them together into a circle. And then I've added the smaller ones into the middle to make up my 2-level medallion. I hope that makes sense. It's not my idea at all. I can't take credit for this. It's something I see on Pinterest many years ago, and it's something we've done in quite a few lessons here at Craftmania as well. But the idea I actually stole comes from somebody who had done it as a massive Christmas tree door wreath style thing, and it was really, really pretty. And I decided if they could do it for a front door, why can't we do it for a card? So we shrunk it down for this instead. But it's a really nice way to use your papers, and it just gives you a really nice effect. Then around the outside here, I've created my frame. Now you might not believe this, but it's actually off of one of these sheets here. Now I've kept this one to show you because I know that sometimes people look at sheets like this and think, oh well, I'm not a scrapbooker, I only do cards and it would be a shame to waste such a beautiful sheet. Well, quite the opposite. There's no reason you can't use this for a card. So what I've done is, this one I was being more frugal with as my demonstration one because I think I might turn this one into a scrapbook page. But for the one I used for my card, I've cut the middle out here and I've actually used it to die cut some of my flowers. So some of these are from that, but I've used the rest of it on other projects and you'll get to see them throughout today's video. But this part around the edge is what I've actually cut up to make my border. So I've just cut them into inch strips, just straight down the middle through the pattern, so I could use them on all 4 parts of my card. So it's a good way to take more value out of one sheet, and you're not wasting anything that way. And a nice way to break down large sheets if you are a bit more intimidated by using them. You'll also see that I've die cut one of my elements here out of one of the sheets from in the pad as well. Now that of course is the floral border, which is now £6.99. We also have the leaves from our very first die I show you, the daisy die, which of course is only £4.49. And then here, the actual flowers I've got on this one are from the ultimate frame. Now they're them little flowers literally hidden in the middle of the ultimate frame. You're going to get to see them on quite a few cards today, and you'll notice that I've tried to fold them in different ways on different cards so I can show you how versatile them little dies are. Of course the ultimate frame is only £10.49, but to be honest I'd buy it just for the flowers because I think they're so universal and give you such different effects. You're going to love them. And then just hidden throughout my card, just to give you a little idea, we have another one of our papers in the actual inside of the card, and we have another one hidden on the top of it as well. And I've used some of the ribbon from inside my little ribbon pack to actually attach my hanging medallion bit in the centre. And this card, of course, is just made out of a triple fold aperture card, so nothing too special and easy to create if it's something you'd like to do yourself. The card blanks, of course, are available on our website and in store, so if you haven't got any triple fold aperture cards already, you might like to get some of them. On to our next one. So this one is using the daisy die to its full potential. It's actually using all of the little daisy bits, and in the middles of them I've added all of the little lilac gems that you're going to be getting in your essential pack. And then of course I've cut the leaves out of the green card. Now in the middle here I've also used the elegant nesty to cut out actually the front of my card, and then because I wanted some green to match in with the leaves from my daisy die, I've cut another one of those out and cut that into a frame. So I'm actually using the waste part of it, not the insert part, to create this frame effect. And then behind it I've added in my little decoupage sheet that you're going to be getting in your essential pack. Around the edges here are them borders, them white borders that I told you that we could colour if we wanted to, but I actually quite using them as white on white because you tend to get so many different shades of white. I think it actually looks as if you've embossed them or layered a die cut on them, so I thought that looked quite nice. And then moving on, we will go on to our next card, so let's have a little look at this one. On this one we have our floral border coming out from the edges either side. Of course the floral border is reduced to £6.99. We also have the twiddly bits hidden with the flowers cut out of silver mirror board, and the twiddly bits, don't forget, are reduced to £4.50. Then of course we've got the 3 ultimate frames that you can see put on each panel. The ultimate frames are of course £10.49, and they're also responsible for the flowers too. So this is a good time for you to notice a different fold going on these, or a different texture going on my petals. And you'll also notice I've used the little flower centre as well that you get in with the actual frame too. And then in the middle here of this one, in the actual centre of this part of my ultimate frame, I've also used the elegant nesty to cut that out and create an aperture in my frame, and then I've used more of the little elegant nesty layers to actually add a sentiment to my card as well. Of course the elegant nesty is now only £6.99. So that's quite an easy one to do, and it folds down quite nicely, so it would pop into a square envelope. And it's only 3 panels, so it's easy to do and could go in any direction. Again, it might be quite nice if you wanted to, if you're somebody who does mini albums or little brag books, who again could quite easily leave off some of this lot and put photos into them square rectangles instead if you wanted to. Now obviously, not only do you like to use these products for cards and scrapbook pages, there's no reason you couldn't make little gifts with them as well. So this is just a little plaque I've made, especially thinking of Christmas, because Christmas of course isn't that far away and we often like to make little stocking fillers and bits. So this is using lots of the papers and elements from our paper pad that you're going to be getting in your essentials pack. So that's responsible obviously for this beautiful little love part here, as well as that part, and of course the papers for the flowers and all of these parts on the board. Now, if you haven't seen these before, we do actually sell them in store. They come blank and they're actually quite nice because you can also flat pack them as well if you want to, or you can of course attach them and send them, it's up to you. And these ones are only £1.85, so they're not exactly expensive and they're very easy to build. So you can construct them, you can glue them together if you want to, and just decorate them as you wish. I've also added some gold gems around the edge of mine, but you could of course paint them as well if you wanted to, and go as nuts as you want to decorating these up. We also do lots of other MDF shapes, and when these come in, a lot of people were buying, we do a big teapot, and they were buying the teapot to stick on the front here as an element, and turning this actually into a letter rack. So again, just as alright, it stands off as a plain plaque, no reason you can't dress it up and give it other uses. So on my one, not only have I used lots of the papers, I've also used several of the dies. So we've got the daisy die, which has been used for the leaves. Now, as I said to you at the beginning, I've used quite a lot of the leaves on their own with other flowers. So that's, of course, from your daisy die, £4.49. We've then got your twiddly bits hidden around here, and the twiddly bits, again, is £4.50. And then the flowers, once again, are a different fold, and they're from the ultimate frame at only £10.49. And then, of course, we've got the Elegant Nesty responsible for the little layers here as well, which of course is £6.99. So quite an easy one to do that. And I love these, and again, they are available in store or online, and I'll put them in the Sunday Showcase section on the website, so if you are looking to order them, you won't have to hunt about for them, because they're just so lovely. I love them. And they'd also make quite nice gravestones if you're doing Halloween decorations this year too, so you could quite easily turn them into some comical Halloween sort of tombstones if you wanted. Next up, we have this one, which is our fairy card. Now, this time I have gone a bit nuts on this one, really. I don't think there's a die that I haven't used on here somewhere. This one is using our floral border, so I've put that into the side of my stepper element. The floral border, of course, is £6.99. We've then got the open flower leaves dotted around in here. So that's the big open flower set, but just using the leaves this time. That's £4.75. And then, of course, we've got lots of the twiddly bits that come from the ultimate frame. So the ultimate frame, also, of course, responsible for the flowers, is £10.50. And then we've got a couple of the little twiddly bits down here and in the black parts, which are the twiddly bits die themselves, which is £4.50. So again, lots fitted onto this one, as well as our little fairy. Now, you might not have seen our fairy before, but that's from this die here. It's we don't have many of these. They are very much while stocks last, but it's a really beautiful fairy. It's only £9.99, and that one's reduced from £15.99. That's one of our standard dies that we have in stock and online at the moment. But I've just cut it off of our actual crescent moon and layered her so she actually sits out a bit above the flowers and bits. And yeah, that completes that card. All of my colouring, by the way, has been done with Distress Inks using our Oyster card that you're going to be getting in your Essentials pack. And then moving on, we've gone for a big, just under 8x8 card this time. I've taken a triple fold aperture card again, and I've turned it into a gatefold this time instead of actually sealing the card as you're intended to. I've used my gold mirror board from the Essentials pack, and then lots of the papers, as you can see, dotted through it from in your pack again. And then in the middle here, we've got a whole little display of flowers using the daisy die, so that's for the leaves, £4.49. We've got the twiddly bits again at £4.50, and then of course the flowers are from the ultimate frame once again, which is £10.49. And then of course under our butterfly we have our Elegant Nesty, which is £6.99. Now this butterfly, you're going to see this quite a few times. We have actually featured this one on a Sunday Showcase before. This is the die in question, and it's only £7.99. So if you would like that one, we do have it in stock at the moment as well. And again, I'll pop that in the Sunday Showcase section of the website. and of course you can order it on there or have it held for you in store if you wish to. But you're going to get to see them on quite a few of my upcoming projects. Then our next one is actually an envelope. Now this is what I was talking about earlier, taking your 12 by 12 papers and turning them into envelopes. I'm going to explain to you in a moment how I've done that, but just before we run off to look at how to do them, I wanted to point out again I've used the Elegant Nesty this time, the £6.99 one, just to add a bit of a panel effect on this one. And again, lots of the papers from in our booklet, ribbon from in the pack as well, and then I've just added a button onto the front of it. Now this is using a full size 12 by 12, so I've got one here to show you how this works. This is just an ordinary 12 by 12. If you want a smaller square envelope, then of course you can cut more of it off if you wish to. All I've done is I've turned it over and I've marked the middle points on all 4 sides to my 12 by 12. And I'm going to use an envelope punch. We sell these in store. They're $5.99 and they're really quite clever. We actually have a top tip video with these as well, so you might have seen these before. But they have a notch on one side and a corner punch on the other. So we're going to start off by using the side that is marked notch, and we're going to line up our marking with the middle of our punch. And then we just simply punch that down and it will cut out this little notch for us. And we're going to do that roughly on all 4 sides. Now if you was doing this at home, I would urge you to be a bit more particular about your lining up because it will make a difference. But you don't want to see me faff forever, so I'll try and do this quite quickly. So you have now got your 4 markings. Now you can score this if you want to, or you can just fold it. And I'm just going to fold mine. So we'll try to get this as level as we can do. But you basically take all 4 sides and just fold them inwards. And then in a moment we will decide which one we want to be our top flap and which one we want to be our bottom flap. So that can then be our base, because that's quite pretty and we quite like the flowers coming around there. And then so you would glue this just using a bit of glue on that part, and then you can glue up both sides of there and glue that one down to create your actual opening envelope. Now the other side of the punch is used for the flap. So we're then going to use the corner side of the punch, pop that in, and it will actually round that corner off for us. So it's a really nice envelope, and then quite simply you've got a perfect envelope to fit in it an 8 by 8-ish card. So this one, if you remember, I told you it's just fractionally under 8 by 8, and this was using my 12 by 12 paper. We can see that this can go in there quite easily. So it's a really nice way to use your 12 by 12 papers, especially if they're not ones you're too short if you wish to use for your cards. So with that in mind, I'll show you another one on our next card as well. So this again, we've got another envelope to go with it, but we'll look at the card first of all. So this one's using a twisted easel format on our 8 by 8-ish card. And this time we have the open flower die that is responsible for the leaves up here. So the open flower die is $4.75. We of course have the twiddly bits hidden in here as well. That was $4.50. We then of course have the ultimate frame responsible for the flowers, which are dotted around on this one, £10.49. And then of course we've got the Elegant Nesty here on the top panel. And again, it's just nice to point out how you can use that die as a landscape or a portrait depending on what you want to be doing with it. And I've actually used some of the text paper here from in the book to go on that one as well. I quite like that effect. Then on to the matching envelope. So again, we've gone for another one of our 12 by 12 designs, and you can see that's actually laid out on here. Again, quite a pretty one. I like the little gold elements that are running through that one. I've added my lace going around the middle of it. I've used one of the ribbons that are in the ribbon pack as well. And then on the front panel here, we've added on a few different bits. So on here, we've of course got the Elegant Nesty for the backing panels, which is $6.99. You've got the flowers again from the ultimate frame. We've got the twiddly bits, and we've got the leaves again from that daisy die. And it's quite a nice way to just dress up an envelope. Obviously, you're not going to post this, but what a lovely way to give a card and actually make it look something more than just a plain white envelope. I often say this, I feel we put in so much work to making the card, and then we stick them in boring white envelopes and don't give them the full potential. So that's why I quite like making boxes, and especially envelopes like this. They're a really good way to complete the gift. Now, of course, talking of 12 by 12 papers, as we are from your Essentials pack pad, there's no reason you can't use these for scrapbooking as well. So I wanted to show you how well these dies would go in with your papers if you are a scrapbooker. So on this one, we've got the daisy die, which of course is $4.49, and that's responsible for the leaves on this one. We've got the floral border, which I've actually joined up to turn into a border that goes all the way across the top and the bottom of this bar in the centre there. And that one, of course, is $6.99. And then we've got the open flowers, which are layered down here. and they're of course £4.75. And then for actually to put your photos on, sorry, we've got the ultimate frame cut out, which is £10.49. Now I've left these without photos on, but I'm sure you can imagine them with some nice family pictures on there. And of course the family element comes out of your pad as well. And of course we've got lots of the gold mirror board that you're going to get in your essentials pack. So that was just one really quick page I constructed, but you could do so many pages with that pad if you are a scrapbooker, or if you're new to the idea of scrapbooking, it might be a good essentials pack for you to get for that too. And then this one's just a gatefold card, so I've made a little surround for this one, a little wrap for it. So we're going to take that one off because I quite like using these big bold papers, and I find sometimes you can cover them up too much and then they're sort of gone to waste. So this is a nice way to use them to their full potential. So I've put some more papers on the inside. I've left this one blank, so it could be for any occasion that you wish to. And I've put most of my detail actually on the wrap round part here. So what we've got on this one is we've got the daisy die using actually to make the flowers and the leaves this time. Then we've got the twiddly bits die behind it, and then we've got that really lovely delicate circle. I haven't really got to use that one to as much potential as I would have liked, but don't forget that's the same one as what we showed you earlier for the parchment, and I just think that's to die for, so I'm sure you're already convinced you need that one. But it's a real essential die in my estimations that I think you're going to use time and time again if you've got it. And again, it's a really good one for adding sentiments or names on envelopes and bits like that. So one I think you might use quite a bit. Then on to our next card. So this one is actually using the Elegant Nesty to make the card. So I've got 3 Elegant Nesty dies to make the top bit, the middle bit and the bottom bit, and then it just stands up to create its own little easel. I've even double stacked some of my elements to make it a bit chunkier and give it more body, and then I've added decorations to it using the Twiddly Bits die, which is of course responsible for these lovely little bits hanging out the side here. We of course then have the delicate circle flower. So this is, oh sorry, I've got a foam pad hidden in there, we don't want that, do we? And delicate circle, the flower from in the middle of that is responsible for making these 3. And of course this time I've inked them again with Distress inks. And this is actually on the paper that you'll get in your essentials packs. That's that dark champagne. So when we look at the back of it, we can see it's a nice cream colour, but I've just inked it using the purple and the teal Distress inks to give it a different shade. Then of course we've got that butterfly die we spoke about earlier as well, and that completes that little card. But I often go off on tangents and make really big cards like I did last week, and sometimes it's quite nice to show you that you can use so many of these products to make much smaller cards as well if you wish to. Then on to our last project I'm going to share with you today. Now this isn't my idea at all, this is well and truly stolen, so I do apologise, but we used to have a lovely lady work for us called Jane, and she made one of these about 10 years ago when this die first came out. I'm bringing it to you today on special offer. I thought it was an essential idea to share with you because I think it's a really nice idea. So it's using the ultimate frame obviously. I've cut 4 of them and I've just scored them down the edges here, so it actually turns them into a 3D element, which of course you can leave standing if you wish to. You could put a base in it and a top on it if you wanted to. You could even use like the Nesty die that we're showing you today to cut windows into it and possibly put in little battery operated tea lights if you wish to. Or you can do like I have and just decorate it up a little. I've kept this one quite plain, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to collapse down, so you could actually pop that in an envelope and send it to someone, and then they could build it up themselves when it gets to the other end. Of course, you can go portrait as I have, or you could of course do it as a landscape as well if you wanted a larger sort of sideways area to decorate instead, if that makes sense. You could go the other way with them as well. I think they're quite good fun. Quite like them. So that completes all of the products and projects I'm going to share with you today. Now don't forget, as I said to you earlier on, a lot of these products are limited, or all of them actually, are limited stock, and when they are sold out they're gone. So we can't get no more, so get them while we've got them. When they're gone, quite literally. So let's take a quick run through them again, just in case you was unsure of which ones you might like to order today. So we have your Daisy die, which should be £8.99, it's now only £4.49p. We have your floral border, which should be £13.99 and it's now only £6.99. And we have your open flower, which should be £9.49 and is only £4.75. We then have your twiddly bits die, which should be £9.99 and is only £4.50, even better than half price that one. We then have your delicate circle, should be £14.99 and is only £7.49. And then we have your ultimate frame, should be £20.99 but is only £10.49. And then lastly, we have the Elegant Nesty, which should be £13.99 but is only £6.99. Now I'm sure by now you've already fell in love with the idea of our essential pack, but if you haven't, don't forget about this. It is £30 and 52p's worth of goodies, and you're going to be getting all of this, including this very lovely pad, for just £20. Again, I predict this to go very quickly, so please don't hang about if you'd like to get your hands on one. When they're gone, and I'd hate you to be disappointed. As always, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have enjoyed watching it, please give us a thumbs up whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube and you haven't already subscribed to us, please do so. We'd love you to join in and subscribe to our channel. I believe we've just hit 1,200 subscribers, which is just incredible. And we'd love to add a few more on there too. So if you haven't as yet, please do subscribe to us. And don't forget, if you wish to order anything from today's video, you can do so on our website, and we can post it to you literally anywhere in the world. Our international shipping is ever so easy to work out. Just read our frequently asked questions page and it will tell you all about that. Or of course we can send it to you anywhere in the UK. Once again, just as a reminder, if you spend over £35, P&P is completely free. If you spend less than £35, P&P is only £2.75. Or of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of today's video, anything you've seen that you'd like to have held for you to collect from one of our stores, you can do. Just let us know either on social media or over the phone or via text the items you'd like using the codes we've given you today, and we can hold them for you in whichever store you'd like to collect from for up to 7 days. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back next Sunday with a brand new video for you again. Bye for now.